Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about track logs, how to get track logs from the GPS units in the field into MapSAR on the screen so they're actually usable in CP. We've chosen not to import directly into ArcMap at all, but rather use an intermediary program to clean the track logs and to make sure we're getting good data from the track logs into our system. The last thing you want to do is get someone's family vacation next to the search tracks, or that person that forgot to turn off their track log when they got out of the field, and now you've got lines in the car where they drove back. We found that this tool here, which is Garmin Basecamp, very user-friendly, um, works really well, easy to edit with, and it's free. So you can download as many copies as you want onto laptops that you might have, and quickly train some people in CP to sit outside and download GPS tracks into here, clean them up, and then hand them off to the GIS tech. There's some really good training materials available for this. We're really not going to cover how the Basecamp works, but if you go to this link right here, or just Google Basecamp tutorial, there's some really good tutorials by Garmin and others on YouTube that can show you how to capture the track logs, edit them, and work with them. So for this training, I've got a sample of some track logs right here. I generally put them in a folder, and I like to name the folder for the operational period, or something meaningful to me, so I know what track logs it's going to contain. I'm just going to call this MapSAR training in this case, but if it was an operation, I would probably call it the name of the operation, dash operation period 1, 2, 3, etc., or however you're going to be gathering the tracks. If we look through these, you can see on the screen these are sort of ground tracks. These ones closely follow a trail and then go offside here. You can scroll through and just take a look at each of the tracks. Again, you can clean them up in here, edit them. And then there's this one here. Obviously, that one is must be a helo track. It's like spaghetti all over the screen, so it's a little messy to deal with. So once you've got all these cleaned up and you're satisfied with them, you can click on the containing folder, export, name it whatever meaningful name you have for it here, and then within the MapSAR incident, there's incident data. In here we have GPS, and this is just a suggested place to put things, just to keep things neat and tidy and organized within your incident. They don't have to be in here. There's no technical reason for it. It's just good organization. So if I just go ahead and save MapSAR training GPX into that folder, it'll export all of these track logs. We can see that here. Here is our training. What I didn't mention that back inside Basecamp is naming these. I like to try and give them a good meaningful naming convention on each track log. It makes it much easier to deal with later on when you get a lot of data and you get a lot of data in the database and you're trying to make sense and head or tails of it all. If you've put, say, the assignment number and the operational period or the date that the track was taken and who took it, it just makes life so much easier for you later when you're actually getting it into MapSAR and managing this data. I already have MapSAR running right here. We have a super tool GPX importer, and it's created by Eden Kane for us, a great supporter of MapSAR, and he made it so much easier for us to get information into our model than it used to be. So if we select and open this tool, the first thing it's looking for is to select the GPX file. So again, we're in incident data, GPS, and we'll select the MapSAR training file, which we know contains all those track logs. Click open. These are tracks, so we're going to select the tracks. We are now going to select the GPX track import selection table to bring all the tracks into. Click add, and that quickly it's now imported all of the data into our routes, which is right here. If we open up the tracks and routes, and here's our routes feature class table, and this is all the track logs that we've just imported. They have no assignment number associated with them yet. That's something you're going to do manually. The team name will be populated automatically from the assignment number, as will the operational period. What it did provide you, though, was the name of the track, which now gives you, if you've named it nicely, assignment 1. I know I can now assign this to assignment 1. The source where it came from, so we know this came from a GPS because it got imported through that tool. Description is something we can manually put in here. The name of the file it came from, so we can always track back to where this file came from, and where that is on disk, whereabouts that actually came from. You'll also note there's a display on screen. The display on screen is really useful for hiding tracks such as the helo track that just turns your screen into scrambled eggs. So we can hide that easily just by turning the display off. So to edit this data, we can start editing. And as we have our assignments, this is assignment 1, we can assign that. This one will be assignment 3. And you'll see that it will populate the operational periods, etc., is coming with it. Assignment 2, and so forth. You can, oh, that was assignment 10. If you have multiple tracks for an assignment, that's great. It's actually good to have. What you want to do then is just name them appropriately. So it might be assignment 3-1 or 3-Michael-Paul- whoever's track it is from that GPS. So that's how you want to go through these and make these assignments so that they actually tie back and make some sense in your system. And of course, we'll save our edits. Just taking this time to save. So now you can see all our tracks here with the appropriate associations with them. We can go ahead, like I said, and turn some of these on or off. So if we wanted to hide a particular track, or if you want to classify them, there's actually ways you can classify them in here. So we can open up the attribute table. Under source, you can say if it was a helicopter. So if you have one in particular that was a helo track, let's see if we can find that. Let's make an example and just don't see it right now. But the helicopter track, we can assign that one as a helicopter track. Then when you close it up, it'll actually be symbolized. You can see this one here is symbolized differently as a helicopter track. The beauty of that as well is now I can turn off all of these routes and I can just say, just show me aircraft routes or helo routes. So now it's just the helo route that's being turned on, nothing else. So you can do the same thing for ground routes, which then takes out the noise of the helo routes. So by assigning them source, it allows you to easily filter on the map what's being displayed and what's being hidden for you. So that is the basics of getting GPS track logs from the device into MapStar.